Yes, I'm.
Are you recording?
Yes.
You have your time.
Everyone else had a chance to sign in? The sign-in sheets right up front. With that, I would like to call this meeting of the town board of the town of Northeast to order. It's our regular meeting. It is Thursday, July 11th, 2026 at 7 o'clock.
No.
Yeah.
So.
July 9th. I'm ahead of myself. Wishful thinking. July 9th, 2026 at 7 o'clock. I'd like to ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Keeping me on the right date. Tilly, could you conduct a roll call, please?
Supervisor Kennen,
Here.
Councilman Mayville, Councilwoman Morrison,
Here.
Councilwoman Winkler,
Here.
Councilwoman Cole.
Here.
Okay. We have a quorum. And the agenda was circulated and posted. I have a couple of amendments. I've got 3 amendments to the agenda that I would like to propose. The first is that we had an email from Bob Trotta regarding a proposed noise ordinance. And I have agreed to put that on the agenda. Second is discussion of the possibility of putting a solar array on the town's highway garage. And the third is the Association of Towns is having a legislative conference in September. And they are asking the town to authorize a delegate to attend that conference, and I do plan to attend the conference. So though with those 3 additions, I would welcome a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Just a couple of comments. Well, first of all, if there's any public comment on agenda items only, I would welcome that at this point. And after that, it's the supervisor's report. I just have a couple of comments. First of all, as I think everybody knows, this weekend is the first weekend of the 175th anniversary of the founding of the village of Millerton. And there are going to be a lot of activities going on in and around the village this weekend and the following weekend. There's going to be a parade, as I understand it, that will kick off from the shopping center area and go up to Eddie Collins Field. I've been told that anybody is welcome to join the parade, and everybody obviously is welcome to come out and observe the parade. It will be followed by a number of people speaking at the groundbreaking of the swimming pool complex for Eddie Collins at 4:30, followed by a concert. So there's going to be a lot going on Saturday. There's going to be activity on Sunday, a cornhole tournament that I think is being hosted by Sean Morrison, and events during the week and events the following weekend. On the Sunday of this weekend, we are going to have a an event to dedicate the new highway garage in memory of Bob Stevens, who worked for the town for 40 years and served as its highway superintendent for 28 years. And I think it's a very appropriate event. And I hope anybody and everybody who is able to come up and join us. It's going to be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. Couple of other things. I've had received a complaint about electric bikes on the rail trail. And I was able to tell that person that the entity which is actually responsible for enforcing regulations on the rail trail is the county, it's county sheriff. They do send people out on the rail trail, but obviously they can't be there all the time. I agree with the person who is complaining. I think that it is a problem. They go very, very fast. In the beginning, they just were a little battery powered to help you go a little bit faster, but now they're the equivalent of a motorcycle and they're very quiet. And I do plan to let the county know that I think this is an issue on our rail trail and really poses a threat to people's enjoyment of the rail trail. With that, I'm going to get through the financials, get these out of the way. I have a budget adjustment, number 3 of 2026, in A fund, an expense increase of $10,153, less an expense decrease of $10,153 for a net of 0. And in DB fund, the highway, an expense increase of $217,227, less an expense decrease of $44,047, less a revenue increase of $173,180 for a net of 0. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the budget adjustment number 3.
So moved. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I have a special abstract dated June 22nd, 2026, totaling $7,394.07, broken down as follows. A fund, $2,817.47. DV fund, $4,576.60. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the special abstract.
So moved. Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
It's 7-9. You're gonna have to write that 50 times. Have an abstract dated July 9th, 2026, totaling $275,896.35, broken down as follows. A fund, $83,210.93. B fund, $21,510.95. DB fund, $170,392.40. Payroll TNA, $782.07. Could I ask for a motion to approve that abstract?
So moved. Second.
Followed by Meg. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. That takes care of those. And the voucher committee for August will be Chris Mayville and Lynn Morrison. Department and committee reports. First up was Highway. Josh, thank you for coming out.
Good evening, everyone. So as you all know, on the 4th, we had some pretty wicked storms roll through. The whole entire crew, including one of our part-timers, went out. We had a good amount of damage, but thanks to the fire district and the work of our crews, we were able to walk away that night with all town roads open and passable. The majority of the impact for us was on the northeastern quadrant of the town, but there was a little bit everywhere throughout the town, so it took us a while to work our way around and get everything reopened, but it was good going to sleep that night knowing that all of our roads were open in the town.
It is kind of amazing when you look at what happened just across the border in Salisbury, Falls Village and so on, that we didn't have more here.
Yeah, we're extremely fortunate. It's always a roll of the dice and we've been lucking out lately, so.
Yeah.
On some over here.
Yeah.
So to follow up on last week's meeting, we've taken possession of the truck that you all approved. It's already, having a plow and bed liner installed, and then as soon as that's done, it's going right to our graphics vendor. So it's gonna be a very short turnaround time from purchase to in-service. So thank you for that. It's, rolling right along, thankfully. But besides that, you know, the crew, all three of us and our part-timer, we've been working on some smaller road projects and we're looking forward to some bigger ones here in the future. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet. So thank you.
Right,
Yeah.
you might mention, the sale of the vehicles that we put up for auction.
Yes, I think I did.
You did, I guess I should mention that we actually have gotten the check. for it.
Yes, which is wonderful. Which is
Those
wonderful.
not for sale, we did better than we thought
Yeah.
on those.
Yeah, we're exploring alternative options for the chipper since we did not agree with the final bid for that. There's a vendor coming in next week to look at it, so we're gonna go from there.
Yeah,
But besides that, thank you all, and hopefully we'll see everybody on Sunday at 4.
yes, and I know that we also want to talk to you, you know, at the next meeting or before that about the paving project, the
Yes.
paving program.
Yes,
And that's been held up because the paver that we share with Rhinebeck, Red Hook.
we share it with Amenia, Rhinebeck and Maya.
Right, which is out of commission at the moment
Yes.
and has,
Yeah, and the
Caused a problem.
part for that is back ordered with no estimated date of fulfillment.
yeah,
So on the other side of that, we've been working with some paving contractors for some large scale projects that we normally do a couple of every year. We should have all of our prices in by next week, all the bids in, so we'll have a better idea what that's gonna look like. So,
yep,
all right, thank you.
okay, thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for coming out. All right, there is no report for the assessor at this point. And town clerk, we have received planning, zoning and building department.
I gave you a zoning report. We didn't get the reports, but I just got them, and so you have a copy there
Okay,
of them, but you have all the other departments.
all right,
The unpaid tax roll was returned to Dutchess County Finance after the last, it took a while. But also, Saturday, the 18th from 9 to 12 is a shred day, NBT here in town. And we have about 8 to 10 boxes that we could use. I think the limit is 5 per car,
I
or per
can-
person.
I can take some.
That would be great. That would be great.
So it's the 18th.
Yeah, it's a Saturday,
All right,
9 to
great.
12.
we've been working our way through the things that we are permitted to shred.
Mhm.
That we've stored downstairs, upstairs. It's amazing how many boxes of files are in this building, but anyway, we've been doing pretty well. So this is great.
And then I just have to mention that we did receive another complaint from Dave Decker, dated July 5th about the weekend noise from the gun club. I forwarded it to Tony Robert,
Mhm.
like it was suggested the last time. And he's informed me that the gun club has voluntarily halting shooting this Saturday from 3 to 6 during the village parade time. So that's just an aside.
But we'll come back to that.
Okay. Did you say 9 to 12?
All right, okay, and you've done tax collector
Yes.
report,
Mhm.
great. So I don't think we have any report for the recreation committee. The contract with the village has been signed by the village and the town. Housing. Anything?
I don't have anything right now, waiting for some more info, but yeah, I don't have anything.
Okay. There is, I know that there was a local law introduced in the county legislature Adopting real property tax exemption for the creation of 8 accessory dwelling units pursuant to paragraph 4421P of the real property tax law. That is just, I will share what I've got on that. That's just was announced by the county legislature.
So will we have to pass a resolution?
No,
now?
no,
Just
not at this time.
applies? Okay.
Not this time.
Okay.
This is just beginning to work its way through the county legislature.
Okay,
But I'll
great.
make sure that you have
All right, thank you.
all the information on that. Personnel committee. We have this.
And everything was approved?
We approved that we will be moving forward doing personnel evaluations and need to do it by a deadline. The next step is to actually have the evaluation form for the department heads and material for employees to look at. This is produced by our HRA consultant. It's quite old, but it's still very helpful. So, I think I'd like to share it with the board and we'll welcome suggestions as we move forward. There's a lot of work to do on this because it is the preparation of exactly what is sent to employees and to department heads. It's 2 different sets of documents. I want to move on that fairly quickly because there is a deadline for the performance evaluations to be done.
But to your point, was the thing that we had approved to go to HR, was that approved by them?
Yes, has come back to us and I'm gonna be distributing it so you can all look at it. And if we
Okay, thank
find
you.
any typos or anything that we need to fix in that,
Good.
I will send that around.
Chris, did
Yes,
the HR consultant offer any training resources? No,
no,
the department heads?
no. We can ask them if they have such a thing. They're a 2-person operation that operates out in, I think, in the western tier of New York State,
Okay,
but we can find out.
yeah. Would the personnel committee want to follow up with them?
We'll follow up with,
Mhm.
I know that Chris has a lot of access to things.
Yeah.
Because he supervises a lot of people, so
Yeah, he's
we'll
got,
come up with something.
I think. we
And
need
we're
to
not gonna
provide
have it real
training.
elaborate, it's gonna be
yeah, it's
pretty
gonna be
basic,
pretty simple.
simple.
Right,
It's our first time through with this, so that we have something on record,
Mhm.
because up to now we don't. So,
right.
I also just want to note, since it's a personnel item, that today was our assessor aide Donna Morrison's last day.
Okay.
Working here. She's been working for the town for 40 years. And that is an astonishing record of serving this town. And I just want to make sure that everybody was aware of that. Communications committee, we have anything for
Yeah.
tonight?
Yeah, no, I was just wondering about this open position blurb. Is there something we need to do with this?
We were coming back to this, yeah, no, we can talk about that right now.
Seems like-
The question was, would we put, salary range and health benefits, retirement benefits, would that be noted in there? It is now.
Where is this going?
This is gonna be on the website. It's going to go to wherever we want to publicly notice it.
Can I make a recommendation instead of having folks go reach out to Lorna? Or to Tilly, can we direct them to the posting on Indeed?
Yes, but people frequently want to talk to somebody and say, well, is there housing connected to that? Or is there, they have questions all the time.
Okay, but we should direct them to the formal.
Yes, it will be, that will be,
Instead of-
the formal 3-page job description will be in the clerk's office.
Okay, but that should also be here.
Okay, well, I can,
Yeah, being
amend it.
more questions about the position, please contact our clerk and.
Because
Yeah.
is the actual job description attached to this somehow?
Well, that is the notification of the opening. And that the people who want to get the full 3-page, 4-page job description can reach that through the clerk's office. That's what they can get. We can't put that in the paper or.
No, but they should, their first course should be to Indeed
Mhm.
instead of Tilly. Because they're gonna inundate Tilly with requests for the job description.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I want to make sure is that we have the ability, if, if somebody applies from Westchester County, I want to be able to say no. They were, that's not gonna work.
But their first course of action should be driven to.
Yeah, I think
the
it should,
Puma
I
posting.
think it should come to the town. I think questions should come to the town.
Well, questions, but the actual job description should come from the job listing.
Okay,
Or it
let's,
could be two-pronged. I mean, why not two-prong?
yeah, I mean, Indeed is not an entity of the town and, that's, I'm just trying to follow
Yeah.
the guidelines for the town.
It
But we
seems
can-
like the most efficient way. People know how to go online.
Yeah, I mean, some people do.
Do we want to, you mentioned a 4-page description, is that what you mentioned?
Yeah,
Can we scan that and put it on the website for the
Yeah,
open
yeah.
positions?
absolutely.
Okay, so that's one step.
All right, let's come back to that. Let's work on that on
And it
Monday.
seems more efficient than everyone reaching out to Tilly to get a job description, but. I don't know. how
Well,
many applicants
if
we're
we can
gonna have.
scan it and put it on, and then
Yeah.
they can look at it right there.
Yeah, that would be good too.
So we're, so,
We'll
the
do that.
communications, committee, so we've gotten to a point with the website where we're just on a holding pattern, waiting for some updates from certain departments, but things have, ZBA have, updated their forms, that was helpful, good timing. And then just waiting, like you had mentioned before, the ethics committee, is gonna do that, and then we're just, updating as needed, but we probably don't need to meet right now every week. On another thing that's come up in talking, which is piggybacks off our weather event, and we've been talking for quite a long time with Chris Mayville doing the emergency studies for weather and other things, is that the idea of having a citizen notification system. And that Millerton, the village has one, I think it's the .gov or something. I'd like to suggest to the communications committee could volunteer to investigate things that are like GoGov or One Call Now, and different ones that the one I had used before. It gave the option for people to opt in to either have a phone call, a text, email. So it really hit all different people with different capabilities, and it was fabulous, and you just type the info into the website and it did all the work, so
Mhm.
any board member could do that too, so. If that sounds good with the
If you
board,
can bring back some information on that to the board and the
Mhm.
cost
yeah,
to the
because
town.
of course, it's not like. Just like, hello, today is whatever, it's important information, like roads being closed or
Mhm.
fires or.
Yeah.
the Fire department here and
And,
other important things that came up, if the power's out or,
yeah,
okay,
okay,
so we'll
sounds
do
good.
that.
Thank you. Okay, Warren, I know that you've been in touch with Altice regarding the franchise agreement. And it sounds as if, can you give us sort of a summary of?
Just a summary, yeah.
Yeah.
I sent everybody today, I don't know whether you got a copy of the proposed franchise renewal agreement, which I had marked up and read many, many months ago with the changes that I wanted to see in the agreement. It's taken a long time to communicate with them because there was a change in personnel. And we're down to 4 issues, which I sent on to you just for your review. We're not gonna discuss them in public tonight. The major issue, the thing that I want you to look at, is that I did get a map of the original build out. And that is privileged information which cannot be released to the public. But you can review it and I've supplied it to you to see if there are any areas of the town which have not been built out in accordance with the original franchise agreement many years ago. And then there are a couple of other issues regarding extension to areas that are not served. We wanted, they wanted to limit that to 25 homes per linear mile. I wanted to have 10 homes per mile, so we still have to negotiate
So
that.
they haven't confirmed that for sure.
They
yet.
haven't confirmed that. They're, that's the one that they're most resistant to. And I've been able to negotiate it in other municipalities down to 10. Maybe we can split the difference, but I want to see if there are any underserved areas, so you tell me that first. To see whether we have an issue with the extension of services. The other two issues are kind of minor. Free cable to the town hall. They we usually put that in there and there's no objection to that. They did object to that. And an issue regarding the PEG grant. They said they will probably relent on those two issues if we can resolve the issue of the extension at 25 or 10 homes. So if you could look at it, give me your thoughts. It'll be too complicated to do this at
Yeah,
a public meeting tonight. And if you have any questions or need any further documentation, just contact me. And then we'll hopefully have this in final form for setting it down for a public hearing. And once we do that and it's approved at a public hearing, then we have our new agreement.
Yeah.
So hopefully in a month or two.
hopefully this year.
So Warren, on the point that you made, that, was it Altice also that you did an agreement with for 10 houses per mile?
It's
That's just
no,
fine.
no, it's each cable company has a different name.
Okay.
I can just tell you that in we negotiated that in Hyde Park,
Good.
and Pine Plains.
Mhm. Oh,
And I
Plains.
think we did in Rhinebeck, but I don't remember for sure. But they're different companies,
Right,
so you're dealing with different people and people come and go and they leave. So I'll try, it's not a hugely important issue if the town is currently being served. We had some issues in Hyde Park. Where there was areas of the town that were not served. And we needed to have that extension, but I'm not sure that you have that here.
I think that,
Mhm.
I think. With
There
the
is some.
importance of using for the internet for school and doing your business, I think it is a very important point to put
Yeah.
forth.
I mean, the cable
Especially
services
in rural
basically
areas.
have the rural areas get their internet. Yes,
exactly.
that's important.
So
So we're just down to a few issues. I think we can resolve them with your input by next
a
month.
few years ago, we actually had a survey done of the
Yeah.
town. Rich Stalzer
Yeah.
did that. He did it with a company that actually drove every road in the town
Right.
and looked at the wires. I think we should get that report out.
Yeah, that'd be
because
great to have
It
that.
identifies some places that are absolutely not served. They're not a lot of them,
There
but
was
there are
that,
some.
but there was that map I shared with you guys. It's in the public domain about areas not served. I'll pull that up again.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
That was
let
very
me know,
clear.
that's a big issue.
Well,
because of the-
Yeah, there were a number of surveys done and the county did one where they just said, anybody who doesn't have service should let them know. They got some responses, but not, it wasn't quite like driving every road and just looking
Right.
to see where the service was, but
Right.
anyway, I will send out that report to everybody so you can all see it.
Can we share this? Oh, no, we can't. I was gonna say, it's private. We can't share it with Rich Crawford.
The one thing that you can't share that I sent you are those maps.
Right.
That's proprietary,
They're pretty difficult to look
share
at.
it with you, but not to the public.
It's like
It's
a regulatory
You need a
system.
screen
I couldn't decide to
It's like
that, hopefully
beans.
you'll be able to.
I don't-
All right, well, we'll hope to have something for August,
Yes,
okay?
for sure.
That'd be something to work
Is this an
for.
annual contract?
No, this is a 10-year contract,
It,
or is it a
Believe it or not,
15-year
it does-
contract?
it does take this long to get
No.
things that are so long.
Well,
And
it's,
then we may have a public hearing, you never know what people raise at the public hearing, what kind of issues. They may raise, and we may have to go back to the drawing board to deal with some issues, but eventually they all get. The major thing is that we have a change in here regarding how our fees, franchise fees are calculated. And the definition that I have in here is much more favorable to us than the standards, so
Mhm.
once we approve that, we'll get more money in franchise.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. The next item is the introduction of a local law to remove the residency requirement for the position of highway superintendent. And, as I understand it, at the moment, under state law that exists, there is a residency requirement, for the position of highway superintendent. As we know, most highway superintendents in the county, probably in the state, are elected. And so for that reason, they are, by definition, they're gonna be a resident of the town. I think it's important so that we can cast as wide a net as possible, that we have, that we waive that. And Warren has prepared a local law, to that end.
Mhm.
And, the process is that we would introduce the local law tonight. We would set a public hearing for it, which could be at our August meeting. And, if following that hearing, unless there is a great objection to it, we would be in a position to adopt that local law. So as we move forward with interviewing candidates for that, we would be indicating that it is our intention that there is not a residency requirement for living in the town of Northeast. But that they would not take office until that law is in place. So,
I think we're all set, and I
Yeah.
sent you a notice of public hearing.
Thank you.
so with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
You have a copy of the resolution, and I think I have to do a roll call.
Okay, yeah, can you just read
You
out
don't
the
have to
title?
take, I mean,
Just the title of the resolution.
Resolution introducing a local law number B, of year 2026 entitled, "A local law changing the residency requirements for the office of town highway superintendent." Right,
Okay.
so, once you get a motion.
Yes, motion,
Second.
Okay,
second, okay,
so Supervisor Kennen,
aye,
Councilwoman Cole,
Hi.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Aye.
Councilwoman Weaver.
Aye.
all right. That is approved.
And so public hearing, I'm sorry, resolved that the town board hereby schedules a public hearing on said local law for August.
Yes.
What's the date in August?
I think it's the 13th,
The date of our board meeting is the 13th.
the 13th, yeah.
Yeah.
At what time? It says 7:05 here, but,
Let's make it 7:15.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Do that.
all right, thank you. Next item up, Northeast Fire District. Had a request to appear before the town board. And I welcome the commissioners of the fire district. Look forward to hearing from you. You're up.
No,
The fire
Fire.
district,
Over here.
you can come up.
Yeah.
Fine.
Or you,
We're gonna let the chief give you all figures and everything on this stuff.
So it's just become quite concerning to us as we are dispatched along with town of Northeast Medic 1, whether they are dispatched to our district or other towns. And as of recently, the last month or so, it's becoming quite frequently, specifically to the town of Pine Plains and my own. Some of these calls are, most of them are priority 1. A lot of them are some of priority 4. Specifically, one that really concerned me was the fact that at 2:30 in the morning, they pulled our medic to a priority 4 lift assist at 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, when we get a priority 4 lift assist in Millerton, we show up. The fire company shows up. A lot of times we'll just cancel our medic because keep them in service, person needs help from the chair to the bed or vice versa. That's becoming concerning. The town pays for the contract. We sort of have a handshake agreement along with Armenia and Dover to cover the northeast corridor, the 22 corridor, if you will. If Armenia is short on a call, Millerton will go down or Dover will come up or vice versa. I'm okay with that because these towns also have a contract and they're paying dearly as well as we are. Some of these other towns like Pine Plains and Milan, they just haven't even made a step forward to get a contract. So they can't really reciprocate back to us where Armenia and Dover can. So that's just kind of our concern, is the fact that, you know, the ambulances.
There are times that our town is uncovered without an ambulance.
Oh,
The response time would be 45 minutes to an hour if we got an emergency.
Right, and if they do a transport, typically it's to Vassar, even from Northeast, that's a 3-hour turnaround, no matter how you shake it. It's my belief, and I could be wrong about this, but some of the towns are relying on Sousa Reno's new supplement ambulance, which is nothing more than a supplement ambulance. That's working out for the lower part of Dutchess County, west of the Taconic and south. I've actually got on the radio a few times knowing that Armenia was out, my medic was out, and asked the county to start rolling supplement ambulance. And got told, no, we don't have them for you. So. There's that, that's also an issue.
You all live in Millerton, right? We're all from Millerton,
Yeah.
Northeast. Well, same thing. You all pay taxes,
Well, we pay a huge part of our budget. too.
All right.
Yeah, we
right?
all do.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's take an example. What happens to you fall down, need the ambulance, and that's in Pine Plains? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna get to the hospital?
I know.
This is what we're
Oh,
talking
no,
about.
we've been
With
talking about
everybody.
this for 5
Same
years.
thing.
Yeah.
And this has been going on. What's the budget?
About
All
$700,000.
right, it's gonna, and you know it's going up. Nothing has gone down yet. Gas goes down one day, it's back up to 4 something now. So,
Yeah.
you know, they got us by, you know what?
Yeah,
Pine Plains doesn't contribute to the ambulance system. Mylan doesn't, but yet they want us to go over and cover them for. It was sick. She was
Just for
sick
some
the other
private
day,
ones
she
that
had stomach ache, and they went over there and
One was
take her to
for
the
an auto
hospital.
accident or.
Mhm.
We don't have any ambulance.
No.
You know, I don't mind if they had a heart attack, that's entirely different.
right.
Then they would back.
That would be
me.
that would be a priority 1,
Yeah.
priority 2
But
call.
this has gotten so bad, I gotta tell you that, I don't even want to see it go over there for that. Because you know what, they can do Stanford then. Or Rhinebeck, I was on Northern Dutchess for 5 years. They are trying to say the other day, it would take them over 28 to 30 minutes to get to Rhinebeck. Out to Pine Plain, I'm telling you, that's a lie. I drove ambulances for 5 years there, it does not take that long. So I'm just saying,
Mhm.
we're having a concern for the people, I've lived here 71 years. And I'm worried about the people here.
Yep.
And we
Well,
all
I
pay
know-
taxes, so
So,
that
one of
we
the-
gotta do something.
Stanfordville, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Stanfordville, I don't want to lose my thought. So Stanfordville also has a contracted BLS ambulance. That ambulance was starting to flood into Pine Plains quite often as well. The Stanford Fire District and the chief, they put a stop to it. They put it in their contract that their BLS ambulance will no longer run mutual aid to Pine Plains when their ambulance can't get out. So. That's where I'm saying we need to sort of chisel the contract. And. Maybe put the brakes on the ambulance going to Pine Plains and Milan and wherever else. Unless that town has a contract ambulance.
I am,
That-
we
that's
talked
just-
about this.
That's what I'm proposing, that's just a suggestion.
I think it's a
Fire
good
district.
idea. I don't think our ambulance should be going to Pine Plains or Milan, especially for the priority 3 or 4 call. And if we can solve this problem with a letter to Bill Beal and to 911 center, I am happy to do it. I think it makes sense. It does not feel right. And this has been a problem I know for a while.
We've had some very
came to
serious
Yeah,
calls,
it's been brewing for a bit.
very serious calls lately, and at some point, we're gonna get caught with no ambulance.
Mhm, yeah, we are, there's a whole discussion going on with the county, with Empress. About how we can reorganize this. I can promise you in any agreement that comes up. It will specify that our ambulances do not go to Pine Plains or Milan. But I'm happy to sign a letter before that, saying that same thing. Along the lines of what Stanford did. Yeah,
May I ask a question?
please.
Do you guys have a log approximately of all these, like the things that you're referring to?
Mhm.
Because I think that could be very helpful to the board to have that and for Warren to have that. And I read our contract.
Chris
It
has
doesn't-
that access right to the county, you can get that.
Yeah,
request.
we can
We'll-
get
we can go down
the
through-
911 center keeps a
Right,
record
but
of
when
it.
our folks,
Right,
when
I have a
our folks
record
are
of all of
going-
our calls, and
that's on
I have a
your
record of
fault.
some of the calls, like within the last couple of months. Back to like March of the calls that.
Because I know this has been going on a long time, because I came to a fire meeting.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about it about 2 years ago, I think it was, so.
You know, it's just if they were putting at least one step forward to resolve their issue, which they claim they don't have one. I disagree.
You know,
They don't.
Yeah, we have $700,000.
You know, unfortunately, until it happens, something
Yeah.
happens to one of their own, that's gonna be their eye opener. I don't really want it to get to that. That's where we came in and we decided, I think 15 years ago, we couldn't provide it. We didn't have the EMTs or the manpower to get it out. That's why we came before the town and said, hey.
Yep. No, I'm really glad you
We
did.
need to do
We
something.
don't have
And,
enough people.
you know, unfortunately, and I don't wanna, downplay Pine Plains or their chief or beat it up, but. You just, if you saw the last interview in the Pine Plains Herald. His comment said, if I go to a paid ambulance, it's a slap in the face to my volunteers. Well, what about if that ambulance doesn't get out for a volunteer's mother or son or wife? Or one of their own members? You gotta kind of look at it like that,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, no, I think,
I just think it's concerning and.
I'm 100%
That's where we
in
stand.
agreement with what you're suggesting.
And a partial solution is to amend the contract or.
Well,
revisit the
Or he
contract.
could do it.
Well,
Letter
if
right now.
by a letter to the county, that does that,
Yes.
I'm happy to do that. I don't wanna redo the contract, it's a.
No,
pretty
no,
different-
we would greatly appreciate that as a water district.
Yeah,
Yes, we are looking out for our own.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it would be specifying,
It'd be a letter
Just
from me
saying not
to
for-
the 911 center specifying that. Our ambulance is not to go to Pine Plains for priority 3 and 4 calls.
Yeah.
Which is what Stanford did. And I think that will make a difference. I believe it'll make a difference. And I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys coming
Yeah,
out.
really, cause that's the only way we're gonna. Curb most of it,
Yep.
I mean. Priority 1, there's probably what, 60% priority 1?
Yeah. And it was also kind of concerning that at the Milan Town Hall meeting with Nuvance,
Yeah,
there was nobody from Pine Plains. There were a few from Milan. But nobody from Pine Plains, nobody from Stanford. So they honestly believe they don't have a problem. But like I said, I disagree. If you can't get your own membership to get the ambulance off the floor for a lift assist, whatever, before at 2 a.m. and you have to call mutual aid for that. Unless you have a party going on and your whole department is out of service, like, hey, what's going on here, you know?
yeah.
What I don't understand is I thought Empress had agreements with us, contractual, like 9 minutes the most or whatever. And if they're not even. I mean, statistically, is our fire department responding more than they are?
I mean, well,
For
different,
local?
Yeah.
For local?
Even on a local call,
Right.
our members still are on scene as
Right.
With the
We
ambulance?
always do have, yeah, we always
Number
do
one
have
and
the
number
ambulance.
two.
We do what we can.
The ambulance has never not responded to any of our calls, so typically. For instance, if our ambulance goes out to Pine Plains or Milan. They're supposed to be backfilling,
Mhm.
now it's with Empress, there's more units available, hopefully. Doesn't seem so. Because if that ambulance can't get out for Pine Plains. Well, who's backfilling Millerton? That's always a concern also. It always used to be when it was NDP. And the rig went out, there'd be a backfill ambulance hopefully coming from Rhinebeck. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get it going. A lot of these calls, you get an Empress unit. A Duchess fly car, Duchess ambulance 1. And lately our medic, because we're closest. We always end up answering a call.
well, I think this is a good way forward
Yeah.
that you've suggested.
Gonna wake them up, yeah,
Yep,
gonna wake them up.
yep, no,
It's gotta be something.
I'm
We
happy
don't
to
want
get on.
that.
But I would
No,
we just want-
No,
CC Sue Sereno's office in the letter.
Will do.
yeah,
As well
yeah,
as
she's good with that.
I will CC you guys as well.
Okay, good,
Absolutely.
so,
Anyway, I really appreciate your coming out. This is a concern of mine.
Yeah.
The renegotiation of a contract. Is a big concern of mine. The amount, it's not only the availability of an ambulance, but the amount that is costing this town. And it's because we are the smallest in population. The big towns, these providers make their money off the insurance. And in towns where you have a smaller population,
I mean, in
They
a
can't do
perfect
that.
world, we'd be able to form an ambulance district between us, Pine Plains, Stanford, Armenia, for our battalion force.
yeah,
But I don't see that happening
no,
for.
the world
a
is
very long time,
not perfect.
you know.
There's talk of that kind of stuff, but this could be years down the road.
Right.
So this is a good first step.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank
so
you.
they're not talking about doing something with group again here with,
With
Yeah.
Winnie and Dover,
I know Dover's gonna go on their own.
Dover's gonna go on their
Yeah.
own,
Well, they should have more ambulance, they got so many calls, I mean,
yeah.
you figured out.
Yeah.
All that.
No, I talked to Ricciano a lot.
Yeah.
Saw him just 2 days ago.
Actually, we could use 3 between the Mean and Millers. Cause they're both busy up through here. And they got the station,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But,
All right, look for a letter.
all right, thank you,
Yep.
everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, the next item, this was an addition, to the agenda. Bob Trotta sent us a note about a proposed noise ordinance.
Yeah,
Bob, the floor is yours.
thank you. And my name is Bob Trotta. I'm attorney for a lady who's here this evening and resident of Northeast, but has asked me not to divulge her name. Hope you'll accept that as a jurisdictional issue. That I have authority to speak for her. And You have before you the village ordinance on noise and how much can be tolerated in the village of Millers, or how little can be tolerated. And well, I had a situation with a client that has got somebody with a boombox next door, plays it night and day. And it's just driving her not mad, but it's not good. If any of you can imagine how you would react to that, I think you'll understand the situation she's in. And previously, there had been a letter which I wrote some time ago involving motorcycles, the same party, and their noise. Well, that stopped. And because fortunately, the town had an ordinance covering it. That you can't have it in a residential neighborhood. Loud noises from exhaust of motorcycles or other motorized vehicles. However, since then, we've now gone to a boombox. And I think as a retaliatory measure, he's complaining that he feels as though he's an individual with property rights. And that if he were to turn off his radio or boombox, he would be giving up one of his rights, which is absolute nonsense. I've reviewed the law on the subject, and I find the following. First of all, we do have a common law provision for enjoyment, peaceful enjoyment of your property. Okay, which the boombox obviously violate. However, that if you go the common law route, the only route I could see is litigation in the county court or the Supreme Court. That can be not only expensive, but lengthy, at least a year, sometimes a little more than a year to get to a conclusion. So that's the plus, say nothing of the legal fees involved. And which are, I think, at least upwards of 25,000. That's an awful lot to get a boombox turned off. Or at least played quietly, that's all we're asking, a little peace and quiet. I also checked and found that the town has no such ordinance, as does the village, for loud noises like a boombox. And what you have in front of you is the village ordinance, which would prevent it. I'm gonna give Warren, you don't have a copy of this, I'll give it to you.
I have.
You have one? And we would ask you to consider doing what the village has done, Village of Millers. Namely, pass a similar ordinance. You have every right to. And then it would bring it down to a matter for the local court. And there you can get a speedy result. You bring an action for injunction, and you can, even in the village, go the injunctive, that they stop it. If it's allowed and obnoxious, which I think a boombox, it can be. It means you really can't enjoy your property much. My client had guests over the holiday, had to sit inside with the doors closed. Couldn't enjoy the outdoors. I mean, that's kind of silly. And why? Because he's retaliating for because we caught him on the loud and obnoxious nuisance motorcycle without mufflers. Obviously didn't have mufflers, made all the noise it did. And so now he's going to a boombox. When asked by police what he's doing with the boombox, his answer is he's keeping it to use it that loud, that obnoxious, to keep critters away. But really pretty silly. I know critters we've got around here, maybe except bears, but we're all bothered by bears.
They get it in the garbage. And there are ways of correcting that, or stopping it, other than a boombox. I don't know if any of you know what a boombox is, but you'll see kids sometimes who carry it on their shoulder. It's a big instrument. It makes an awful lot of noise. It's certainly not no fun having one of those things next door to you. And that day, just because of retaliation, reporting loud obnoxious noise of motorcycles without mufflers. That's where we're at. The only recourse we have, any reasonable one, would be for the village, the town to pass one which the village did. I think we're going to find that that's been going through carefully at the village level, and there's not necessarily a lot of comments that we would see from your quarter, although we may, I don't know. I would hope not. Hope this is also gives us some relief as soon as possible. Summer is gonna be gone, and how would you like to enjoy any of your summer this way? I'd ask you, once again, seriously consider passing this expeditiously, without delay. I don't think it's complicated, but if you find it complications, they can always be amended afterwards. But please take a serious look at it and help the client out. Thank you. By the way, it's nice to see all these female faces out here. I didn't see those for 16 years. Town attorney here. But once again, welcome, ladies. Very nice to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah.
As I told you, first of all, I invited you to come and present your petition or your request. And that we're gonna talk with our attorney, and he's gonna have it. He just got it today to look at it. So he's gonna come back to us with his thoughts on that.
Very good. Thank you, Warren. Okay, thanks again.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. The next item is something that has come up fairly recently. But it's an interesting proposal. It's something that we thought about some time ago, which is to put a solar array on the roof of the new highway garage. And that garage was actually constructed with this in mind. The engineers, CPL, had that as part of our requirements for that. And there are a variety of tax incentives that are available to the town, which would bring the cost of doing this considerably down. And I wanted to, first of all, just to note Steve Fahmy, who's been helpful to me in getting this information in front of us. There are 3 different grant sources, which could take this, the total cost of the project of just under $100,000 down to about $30,000 for the town. The first step in that is to make an application through the CFA process to the Climate Smart Communities grants. That would be a 50-50 match requirement. They would do 30,000. We would have to match that. In order to get that, and this is really a first step in that process. We would have to apply for that, and the application deadline is the end of this month. So it's a very short window. And one of the requirements for that is to have a board resolution stating that the board authorizes the town to proceed to make that application. And Steve, I don't know if you want to give us any more summary of that. Mine wasn't a very technical summary.
too. Yeah, and I think that summarizes it well, and I think we picture between a state incentive, about 20 cents a watt. Federal incentive, but you can still qualify for. If the project is completed by the end of the next year, which we feel comfortable we can do. And the climate smart grant, it was granted. I mean, it really just reduces the cost of building solar and the electricity, essentially. Do about as much as I can imagine it. You go on, you can have three different funding sources that are sort of outside the town, and then a relatively small amount, you know, relative to the benefit, the savings that will accrue for the town. And municipal solar partners, Jason Angel, he's been super helpful. His organization's objective is to help municipalities own these systems, so they get 100% of it, rather than having, you know, third party own it, and still benefit the municipality in that way, but this way, municipality won't get.
Yeah, I think what you were saying is that the alternative is to sign an agreement with a company that then owns it and pays the costs, but we don't get the benefit really nearly as much. The benefit of this, just to reiterate it, is our annual, our annual electricity costs for the town are about $15,000 a year. And this would, in 2 years, we would be be paying that investment of 30,000 would be paid off.
2 to 5 years, it's a little complicated the way that
Yeah.
credits will accrue on the bill, but the worst case scenario, it's a 5-year payback.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about the village, which installed LED streetlights in the village. And, you know, they had to swallow hard when they agreed to make that investment to do that. And if you talk to anybody in the village, they are thrilled with the dramatic reduction in their bills, their electric bills for their streetlights. So,
Relatively small, great houses. Compared to that, but I think it's a relatively small outlay. Investment to benefit year after year after year. Not much good. And oh, by the way, you know, so we actually, just kind of important to.
so I just wanted to say that I've talked to Councilwoman Cole about helping with this grant application, and you generously agreed to help me. Steve has also agreed to be helpful on this. And so I know it's a short window, but I'm prepared to dig in and get to work on this thing. I think I've seen CFA applications before. There, you know, we have something that was sent to us by the Hudson Valley Regional Council with literally question by question or question, you know, what you need to put in, whether it's a yes, no answer, whether it's other kind of content. It's very helpful. So we'll start working through it.
Great idea.
So with that, I have a resolution in front of you authorizing the town to make this application. And I would welcome a motion to adopt the resolution.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion is carried. Thank you. I think, I hope that we're able to get this done. I think it was very exciting. You know, the garage was built with that in mind, and we just haven't seen the confluence of things come to a point where this could work. The last addition to this is, as I mentioned earlier, the Association of Towns is having a legislative conference in September. And they asked the town to designate their attendee, and I'm going to attend it. And therefore, I would welcome a motion to approve the resolution to permit me to attend the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further town board comments? Anything you want to talk about?
mm-mm.
I think I'm good. I'm excited to get these things done for sure.
Mhm. We have a lot of things
We do.
they're working on. Anyway,
Let's do it.
everybody's working at something, and I really appreciate that. The next item is a public comment period, and would welcome anybody from the public who would like, Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Hmm.
Once again, just in defense of the gun club and the noise ordinances and all of the things that are going on, and I that brought to my attention about this new letter. I also think that 2/3 of his complaints are not coming from the gun club, they're coming from other private landowners that are shooting. Because many of the timeframes that he says it's us, it's not. In this last letter you got, we did not shoot at all July 4th. And as the secretary told you earlier, we are not shooting between 3 and 6 on Saturday for your parade. You know, we brought that up a couple weeks ago, and I also told you with a 30-day notice, we can bring anything up to a meeting and not do it. We did this on our own in trying to keep peace. With his last letter, he complained about July 3rd. Somebody did shoot between 5 and 6 p.m. That was it. So for him to throw this complaint out there, I believe there are other people shooting on Gun Club Road. There's 10 or 12 houses down through there, and I do know that some of them people have shooting targets in their backyard. And I do believe that recreationally they are shooting, and we're getting most of the noise. On July 5th, he's complaining about the shooting at night on a Sunday. The last person to shoot there was 2:30 in the afternoon. I just stopped and went through the book. They signed in. I was there for some of that. He complained about somebody shooting trap and pointing the gun in the air. That's part of his letter.
Mhm.
Trap travels 300 feet. Pinpointing with the GPS from his house to the gun club, it's 2,080 feet. There is no way that there's any harm or danger coming out of somebody shooting at the trap with pellets. Just like I said, I'm just trying to defend the gun club in lieu of the fact that we get blamed for everything that I don't think is there. And when this all came about, I got a phone call at the barber shop. I'm not gonna throw names or anything else. It just happened to be that Jay Stasso was sitting in the chair getting a haircut, who lives right across the street from the gun club. He laughed about it. He says, I have no problems whatsoever. He's been there forever. He's in Alaska right now, so that isn't gonna help him, but he had no complaints with us at all, being the next door neighbor. This is why I honestly believe that a lot of the shots are coming from other areas. Of which Mr. Decker is complaining about the gun club, which I have no reason why. He's trespassing on the gun club to do what he's doing. 2 weeks ago, he was there and there was 2 sheriffs there and they said, do you want me to have him arrested? And I said, no, I do not want to start an argument. They offered to arrest him. He was trespassing. So, I mean, it's as simple as that. You know, we don't want a problem. We want to keep peace. I mean, these are the flyers that were put up, for the July 4th shoot. I mean, these are posted on our ranges. You could not shoot July 4th. We cannot shoot on Memorial Day. We do not shoot, like I said, June 11th, which is Saturday. We're not gonna shoot between 3 and 6 because you folks are having your event. You know, and it's just gracious, you know, for us to try not to make noise. I realize that it does carry into the village. So, I mean, if there's anything we can do, please let us know. But, you know, it puts me on edge when I see things like this. I went to school with Dick, I know the whole scenario here. His father was a member of that gun club. So I do not understand this. I do honestly believe that it's a personal vendetta.
Yeah.
But I wanna represent the club in a fair manner,
Thank you.
that's all.
Yep.
So.
That's just, that was your 3-minute timer going on, but
Thank you very much.
anyway, I
Thank you.
appreciate your coming out and talking.
Like I said, anytime, give me a holler.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
anybody else?
Bill, yes. So I'm really happy to hear that you're considering putting solar, power up on the highway garage. I hope that, if it's appropriate, we can also do it on the new town hall. There should be solar everywhere. I'm sorry we didn't get it at the landfill.
But while talking about engineering work at the town garage, this would be an appropriate time to address the lighting problems at the town garage. And, you know, as you know, the new town zoning has, a lot of, lighting, regulations in it. Those things, are put there to, provide, for, conservation of natural resources, environmental impacts, impacts on human beings. All those things are now things that citizens of the town of Northeast have to comply with, and it just seems to me that it would be appropriate to set an example as a town by addressing those lights. And the appropriate thing probably to do is to put motion sensors up so that when there's nobody there, you're not lighting it. That will also result in a savings of electricity and cost. So please make sure that that doesn't get lost in the shuffle as we get all excited about solar energy.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone else? Going once. Okay, I think there are two sets of minutes that have been
Yes.
distributed.
Yes.
Minutes of the meetings of June 3rd and June 11th. Unless there are any comments on those minutes, I would,
I just sent a little one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got
I
that,
just-
and I'll make it capitalized grievance and.
And
Yeah.
then just a sentence.
Mhm.
I didn't get to the notes till late today.
well, with that, I would welcome a motion to approve the minutes of June 3rd and June 11th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. Do we need anything further? I think we're good.
Okay, I'm-
Yes,
Okay.
you may, you are excused.
Be careful.
And, with that, I would welcome a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Bye, Warren.
right, everything.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Approved.